Did you buy anything nice? Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Myself and Cian Menton with you today for another First Division review show. Cian, we had plenty of good fixtures on this week, and the previous week there wasn't many goals actually. This week was a difference. There was a lot of goals about this week, and we'll start off, I suppose, with Wexford and Cove, and Cove will be delighted to get their first 3 points of the season. Another narrow defeat for Wexford, though. They'll be a bit sickened. That said, it was 2-0, wasn't it, in the last few minutes? And Kyle Robinson actually scored his first goal for the club, which is good for them. But good win for Cove.
Yeah, massive win. I think they needed it. You need to be beating Wexford if you have any hope. So, fair play to them. They got the result. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't as easy as it might have looked. Scrappy enough game, I thought. If anyone was going to win, it was going to be Cove. I'm delighted for Kyle to get his first goal, obviously, on Mountain Pass. And he's a really good player who knows where the goal is. So, that's his first of many, I'm sure, in the senior side. But, Wexford, they need to start picking up points now. It's a little bit worrying for them in terms of how they played. Let's say they played the so-called weaker sides, if you know what I mean, like teams that should be in around them. So they had a great account of themselves against Shells. And, the same again during the night. They gave themselves a decent account of themselves. So I can't see Wexford setting the world alight or anything like. I think it's going to be a long, hard season.
Yeah, from their point of view, they just want to be tough to beat. Like, they will pick up points. They're not going to finish at the bottom with no points. Let's be honest about it. So some week it's hard to go with them, to be fair, when you're going up against teams. So some week they're going to catch us out and pretty soon. UCD 4, Cabinteely 1. Another great result for UCD. Collie Whelan with a hat-trick again. When I say again, he's starting the season like he finished last season, I suppose. That's 8 points out of 4 games for UCD. And we spoke about them as kind of dark horses. They're not letting in many goals and they're scoring goals. So it's coming together early doors for them a bit, isn't it?
Massive result that. I think they've put a real statement out there. Cabinteely started really well. So I think UCD really put a statement out. And anyone that kind of wrote UCD off or kind of bish that, UCD kind of put that to bed a little bit after the weekend. What a performance on top from start to finish. Really exciting game, really good to watch. I felt Cabinteely were in the game. There's no question about it. They were probably in the game until the second goal and stuff like that. And, I wasn't as free flowing as UCD probably wanted. They didn't have it all their own way, which makes the result even sweeter because they dug deep and they came through a little patch and got the win and fantastic result, to beat Cabinteely like that. And look, there's a few things going on at Cabinteely and the players stand off and stuff like that. So I'd say all that plays into it in the end. You try and say your football's different, but all kind of plays.
Distraction, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say they were a little bit distracted over it all. You can't blame them either. But look, I don't know where Cabinteely see themselves. I would say Pat Devlin sees themselves as a top 4, top 5 club in this league. But I don't think I'd see them there. I'll be looking at UCD, definitely. They've really impressed me now in games, especially against Athlone and stuff like that early on in the season. They were really impressive. So UCD are going to be a tough side to beat. And, if they didn't lose to Bray last week as well, which was massive, but, you'd like to think Bray and UCD are on par with each other. Bray would probably like to think they're a little bit better than UCD in terms of the squad and money and experience and stuff like that. But, I think UCD be on par with them. So to not lose and then back it up with a win makes it all sweeter for them. And I think they're definitely up there.
From what you've seen so far, who has impressed you for UCD? What players do you think have impressed?
Really Whelan, the main man for me, I think, and Keeney in the middle. I have to say, he was excellent. Absolutely, what a player! He was playing now for Sligo, and he was playing an awful lot for Sligo, but he just moved to Dublin, the college and stuff like that. But now he was very much in Liam Buckley's plans with Sligo. And look, Liam loves the defensive midfielder. Liam loves bringing these players through. You're looking at Jamie Lennon coming through our Pats. Then Jack was the next man in for Sligo with Liam, and now it's Niall Moore. And, so Liam loves the defensive midfielder breaking in, and he really coaches them down to perfection. And look, this fella, I would say the minute he's finished in UCD or wherever he's doing at the minute UCD, he will go on and be a successful player, because I really like how he gets on the ball. He excites me. He can do the doggy work. He can do the defensive work. He can break up play, but yet he can get on the ball, and he's very, very dangerous. So he's a player that I rate really highly, and he's one that I wouldn't mind seeing a Pats team in the coming seasons.
Yeah, interesting. Like, I mean, UCD, I'm obviously interested to see how their players are doing, because there's always gems, and you're never sure which ones are going to make it as such and not. But they've started off very well. Now, a team that hasn't started off very well is Galway United. Keane 1-1 against Treaty, and very lucky in terms of scoring in the last minute here to get the point. Galway technically haven't won this season, even though they got the 3 points, but they haven't won on the pitch, and that'll still be a big thing to them. You have to remember, Galway went professional this season, full-time professional this season. They'll want to kick on a bit. It's been a poor enough start for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, full-time professional just means they're training in the morning. There's no difference. There's no difference between them and Shelbourne or anything like it. Like they're probably getting paid a little bit more because it's a full-time job and a full-time environment, but they're still training the exact same amount of hours, I would say, as Shelbourne, maybe a few more or whatever. But that's it. There's no big difference. People think, these are full-time, they're going to be great. It doesn't work out like that.
It probably adds pressure, Keane, a little bit to the squad, doesn't it? A little bit, because people are saying things.
You look at Bows, for example, this year. Like, Bows are part-time. Bows trained evenings. Bows are a part-time football club. And, they're not any disadvantage coming into the league against any team. So, everyone in this league is a professional, in my opinion. Everyone trains like a professional, so that's a side that I don't read into, because everyone's training the exact same. They're all athletes. Like, you look at the players that are in the squads, like even that. Let's, for example, a Treaty United, or even a small club. Like, you're looking at the fitness levels and the quality of the fitness. Like, it's very admirable. Like, considering these players are so-called part-time professionals.
Yeah, you never see a big difference of fitness levels, don't you? Not really, in fairness, yeah.
I have to commend them for that. But look, Galway be disappointed. Last minute again. Look, they'd be delighted to get the point. I have to say, I was watching the game. I thought it was going to peel out 1-0. I really did. I couldn't see Galway scoring, and that's the truth. I really couldn't. I couldn't see them buying a goal, and look, they got the goal. Look, that bit of luck now. They need to kick on and back it up next week. But Treaty, excellent again. They've really put in some really good performances. They're playing Galway away. That's Bray away done already. So they've played some big teams away already. Now, with the next round of fixtures, they're going to have these teams at home, which, they might fancy themselves. So I have to say, I'm impressed with Treaty. Really, really impressed. I think there's no real standout players for me at all. I think it's more of a team ethic, and it's a real dogged style. We're not conceding. And they have the moments of quality, and they could really be dangerous in this division. I didn't think they'd be anywhere. They'd play half as good as they have already. Like, they've shocked me already, and look, I mean that in the best possible way. I'm delighted, because we need to see a Limerick team back. We can't. It's an embarrassment, I think, that Waterford are the only Munster team in the Premier Division. I think that's an embarrassment. In terms of, you look at the stature of Cork, you look at the stature of all the other clubs, So it'd be great if Limerick get them. Well, I say Limerick, I mean Treaty, get themselves back, back into contention again. And you never know. I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes again. Let's put it that way. And I think they've learned their lessons. No football for 2 seasons or 1 season, wherever it was. And I think they learned that lesson.
Yeah, they seem to have the right people in there as well, from all the reports I've read and everything. There's a determination to get things right. Bray Wanderers 1, Athlone Town 2. Another great result for Athlone on the road here. Obviously, Byrne getting 2 goals. All the goals came within the first 15 minutes, by the way. Barnett's goal after 7 minutes was a very good strike. Again, Bray be disappointed with that. To be leading 1-0 and then 7 minutes later to be losing 2-1.
I swear to God, I didn't know the result. I was watching the game and 2-1 up.
I'll be 7-6 or something.
Yeah, 2-1 up after 15 minutes, and I was rubbing my hands together saying, "Have a game now." And then it just petered out on me. I was disappointed. But I have to be honest, Bray be really disappointed with that. They've lost massive ground in the division already so early on, and they, even if they didn't lose, it wouldn't have been a bad result. I know they haven't won yet and stuff, but as funny as it sounds, like Bray now will be on a 4-match unbeaten run if they drew or they won this, and now we're talking about them not winning. So it just happened so quickly. Look, Bray, there's no doubt they're going to be up there. It's just a matter of clicking and getting.
What are they actually missing at the moment? Is it like they are conceding goals at times as well? So it's not all on they're missing Gary Shaw either, isn't it?
No, I really think they're just missing. They're just missing that bit of quality in both boxes, in my opinion. Defensively, I think they have a really good defensive line. They have some really good players and really players that can play in the Premier Division.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of getting that right. It's very hard, really hard on Gary and everyone in the division, not only Bray, but it's very hard to get a team and get yourself sorted, especially after the year we've had and stuff like that. So, it is going to take time. We've seen some really good signs from Bray and some really bad signs early on. They're a bit of a mixed bag at the minute. Athlone were superb again, though. Really, they were excellent, and I'm really, really impressed.
How have they clicked so quickly, though? Because we spoke about them at the start of the season. We said they've brought in a lot of players. Some will work, some won't work, so it's hard to gauge them. But how have they done this so quickly?
The attitude is spot on. I think the culture, the club, these players understand the club, understand what Athlone Town is about. Like I said, you don't have to have the best team in the division to win it. You don't have to have, you look even in the Premier Division at the minute, Pats, you look at Finn Harps, they're not the best, but they're up there. And, all you need is a run of games and a bit of luck. I'm not saying Athlone are getting luck now. They beat Cork, they beat Bray, and they beat Galway, and, a fantastic draw with UCD. I know they conceded, but they'd be disappointed. But, I have to say, you can't ask for a better start. And, they played the big ones. In a few weeks' time now, 10 weeks or whatever, when the fixtures roll around again, they're going to have all these teams at home. So, they have to be in with a shout now.
Especially when they do have squad members, they have a bench, as well. So it's not as if, say, Cabinteely get off to a flyer and haven't got the players to come in. If they pick up a few injuries, they could cope. They could be a dark horse in this race to actually win the bloody thing, couldn't they?
Yeah, look, early days, nothing's won after 4 times, but they've put themselves in a position now to be talked about, and that's all you can really do. And it's game by game. They'll be going next week now looking to get them 3 points, and that's all you have to do. But look, they've been really impressive, and I was shocked to see how great they were against Bray. I expected Bray to win this game. Actually, I think I did say Athlone, didn't we? I think I actually did say Athlone, but deep down I expected Bray to win this game.
Adrian, congratulations. You've just come off the pitch again with another 3 points, a 2-1 win over Bray. You're continuing to defy the odds that all the pundits reckon that Athlone was a flash in the pan, but it appears it's not so.
Listen, we got a win tonight. Roller luck a bit at times, I thought, but fantastic performance, especially the first half. Some unbelievable football. Did very well in the goal down, and did very well. Showed great belief and great heart to get back in and turn that around and hang on in there for the win.
Yeah, Curtis Byrne got off the mark tonight with 2 goals. They're his first competitive goals for the club.
Yeah, fantastic guy. We're lucky we get to see him in training as well. Unbelievable what the guy can do with the ball. Fantastic. And he came right for him tonight. Delighted for him. He hit the post a couple of times, so we're just missing that goal, and he got 2 tonight. Maybe could have got 3 as well. But look, we're delighted. It's a great win, but we've only won. It's only 4 games gone. So we're a long way off anything at all. We just got to keep going, keep knuckling down, and keep working hard and training, and be ready for a big game, huge game for us now against Wexford at home next week.
There certainly was a game of 2 halves there. You were very much on top in the first half, but Bray came much more into it in the second half. They seem to put a lot of pressure on you in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, in fairness, this team can go and play on the front foot, but also can soak up pressure too as well, and can you know, make it hard for teams as well. I thought we did very well, defended very well in the second half. Maybe couple of very close ones there at the end, but fantastic stuff from the boys. They were absolutely brilliant, and we're delighted overall with the performance.
The turning point might have been a red card there in the second half.
Yeah, I think
Bray down to 10 men.
He was causing a bit of bother out there first, and I have to say it did make it easier when he went off. But look, you know, it was a pity because it was a good game. There was no badness in it, I thought, and just the coming together at the end with two players off the ball kind of stuff. So I mean, handbags really, but you know, unfortunately he got sent off.
You mentioned there we're up against Wexford next week. You're at home next week. Do you fancy your chances?
It's going to be very hard. I think Brian O'Sullivan's a great coach down there. They'll be very well organised. They'll make it hard for us. You know, everyone, you know, we put ourselves on top probably a bit too early. I was hoping the last week of the season, but you know, we're there to be shot at now, and Bray will be no different. They'll come at us on Friday and make it very hard for us, and try and get points on the board for themselves.
You know, obviously you're still a happy man tonight. You're top of the table, 2 points clear of UCD and Shelburne. Yeah,
look, we're delighted how it's going. I'm delighted for the lads. They're putting in great work, fantastic. It's a joy going to training with them. They're brilliant, and we just need to keep it going, because we will be tested. Things will get very hard for us. We just need to just make sure we're in there when it does get hard. We're still there battling and trying to put more points on the board every week.
Adrian, once again, thanks very much, and well done to yourself and the lads on another great victory.
Thanks, Eamon. Fair play to
you. Look, Athlone were superb. Bray weren't even that bad, to be honest. I thought Athlone were just really good, and look, they've given themselves a fighting chance of being talked about now, but you know, there's no point of being talked about after 5 games. You know, you need 15, 20 games time. Let's see where you're at, and I think that goes for everyone.
It will be interesting to see what they're like after 15 games or so. Cork City 1, Shelburne 3 at Turner's Cross, and Cork City had a perfect start to this game, didn't they? McGlade penalty, 7 minutes, sending off. Did it fall apart after that? Actually, Shelburne, equalised before the sending off, to be fair. So, what happened?
It fell apart after Cork scored. I just thought they were awful. Really awful. And look, I hate coming on here and hammering them every time I'm on, which I am doing. But I don't like it. I don't like being able to hammer them, but they were awful. They were shocking. That second half performance was a disgrace. Albeit 10 men and stuff like that, I get that. But, you know, it's all about, you can have 10 men, but it doesn't, 10 men, it definitely affects you mentally and stuff like that. But, you know, you need to be winning your challenges. You need to be winning your key battles, whether you have 10 men or not. Like, you know, you still have 3v3 in the middle or whatever it is. You know,
did they make any changes tactically or formation wise when they went to 10 men, or did they sit back, or what did they do?
They tweaked it a little bit.
Right.
They tweaked it a little bit, but you know, it's not good enough. It's Cork City they were talking about here, and no, it was easy for Shells, really easy. When Shells went 1-1, that was it. It was curtains. Shells had that game won. They had Cork exactly where they wanted them, right in the palm of their hand. Professional performance from Shells, never took the foot off the gas. Really, I was impressed again. They haven't clicked into gear yet either, but I was delighted to see them play. And you know, Maddie had a good game, and you know, Shane had a good game.
Where did Shane play actually? Was it out wide, on the right, or?
He was kind of in a free type of role.
Nice.
He was kind of out right, and then he was cutting inside. I was impressed. I was really impressed with how he played.
Scored a nice goal, actually, didn't he?
Yeah, really, really nice finish. Dale Rooney again was excellent when he came. They have depth, you know. We're talking about Shane here, and we're talking about Dale Rooney. These are two lads that wouldn't even be talked about for the starting position. I was impressed with Dale last year. I know Dale from a while ago, looking at him playing in the league at 19s and stuff. What a player! He's excellent, and he's actually from my neck of the woods. He's not too far from here actually, but a really, really good player. And you know, if he's coming off the bench, you know, he's a good squad. So I'm impressed with Shells. They haven't picked into gear in the slightest yet, and considering where they are in the league, they'd be very happy. And I think that performance was excellent. Look, they got a bit of luck. I don't know if you're saying McNulty again. Absolutely.
No, actually, I haven't. Which one now for that? What was that for?
Came for a ball and he just completely got it wrong. Like, It's every week, though, Keith. It's every week. I
Who was on the bench, actually, Keane? Which goalkeeper? Was it Hunt or Harrington?
It wasn't Hunt.
It was Harrington. What's up with Hunt then? He seems to be on the bench, off the bench, on the bench, off the bench.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
But I was just... It happens every week. I just don't get it. Look, if you were short your job for the last 4 years, like, you wouldn't be still in it. Do you know what I mean?
You won't get 4 years.
That's what I mean. Like, you wouldn't be still there. So I'm shocked. I really am. I'm shocked. And you can't believe it at times. You can't believe some of the goals. Like, if you went back and watched Cork City's goals all the way through in the last 3 years, look at the goals they conceded. Now they're a soft touch now, and they're very close to becoming the whipping boys in this league. And if they don't come up this year with the players they have, it's going to be a long time before we see Cork City back.
Yeah, I think it's even at this early stage, I think it's highly unlikely they're going to come up unless they get through the playoffs somehow. But at this moment in time, it's a very difficult one. Look, guys, we'll leave it there. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. Thanks again, Cian. Leave your suggestions and thoughts in the comments as well. Thank you. Cheers, man.